We're only capable of controlling things that are in our powers, things that we're capable of actually changing the impact of, things that we're actually capable of actually making a difference in. Those things are actually in our powers, our attitude, our ability to stay steadfast, and our ability to stay consistent. I had a friend that just hit me up, and the friend was asking me for questions because they had a job interview that was coming up, and they didn't know about the process of actually focusing on what they needed to focus on. They were worried about the interview process, they were worried about being liked, they were worried about being selected, they were worried about everything else instead of actually focusing on what was actually the process. And the process was actually them focusing on the phone interview. The fact that they had to present a great offering, and the fact they had to present a great situation for themselves in order for them to actually show that they're the best candidate for the job. And this is them actually knowing that you can only control what you're currently capable of. You can't actually worry about people liking you. You can't worry about situations that are out of your reach. You can only control things that are within your own grasp and within your own powers. And this is me giving him the advice that he actually needed to focus on his phone interview. He needed to focus on the fact that he actually knew the business. He had to focus on the fact that his answers were clear and concise. He had to focus on the fact that he was articulate, and he had to focus on the fact that he actually was the best candidate in order for the job reviewers and the job HR detectives to actually give him the opportunity. So this is him actually knowing that he needed to actually get better at actually presenting himself. So this is him not worried about different things and not worried about different situations. This is him actually staying consistent and actually believing in the fact that he's actually the best candidate. I was watching a basketball game yesterday, and it was between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. And the Los Angeles Lakers actually lost that game because they didn't play competitively, they didn't rebound, and they didn't actually defend. And Phoenix actually mopped the floor with them and actually blew them off the whole court. And this was the process, that the fact that they focused on the things that they can actually control. They control their effort, they control their defensive rebounding, they control their shooting, and they also control their substitution. And this is the opportunity in which they actually use in order to beat the Los Angeles Lakers. And this is what the Phoenix Suns actually did, because they only worried about what they can control. We need to actually worry about the things that we can actually control, because our mind plays tricks on us. Our mind has us thinking a million things that can possibly go wrong. I want you to only think of one thing that can actually go right, and that is you actually staying consistent and actually believing in the process and not giving up, and actually staying consistent with the fact that you can actually get better and improve with the process. And this is how the Phoenix Suns were able to beat the Los Angeles Lakers, because after that game, the Los Angeles Lakers all of a sudden needed a trade to occur. They needed different situations to actually happen because they were actually unhappy with their performance. Now LeBron James is on the trading block. Anthony Davis, their starting center, is on the trading block. Their point guard, Russell Westbrook, is on the trading block. All because of the situation that actually transpired in that game, because they're actually not focused on the things they can actually control. They can control not turning the ball over as much as they do. They can control actually making some of the jump shots in which they take, but they actually settle for the bad shots and they actually turn the ball over. And Russell Westbrook leads the NBA in turnovers, and he actually averages what? He actually averages 5 to 6 turnovers a game, and for the season he actually has 168. And this is him actually going over the threshold of actually what a capable point guard is capable of doing. This is him not worried about the things that he can actually control. He can worry about ball protection, he can worry about keeping possessions tight, and he can worry about the things that he can actually control, like his effort and like his ability to actually maintain possession. And this is him not actually working on himself and actually letting the situation overcome him and overwhelm him, and actually giving the Los Angeles Lakers an opportunity to be a mediocre ball club. As of right now, they have 16 wins and they have 16 losses. That means out of 32 games, they've only won half of them, and this actually makes them a pedestrian ball club, and this makes them very mediocre going into the season. And this is actually not boding well for a team that actually wants to win championship. This is not actually going to give them the opportunity in order for them to show up. And this is them not actually worrying about things they can control. They can control their players. They can't control the players getting hurt. They can't control situations about the referees. They can't control who they play, but they can actually control their efforts, their turnovers, their made baskets, and their ability to actually stay consistent with the process. So I want us to actually be like my friend and actually focus on what you can actually control, which is your effort every day, which is your ability to show up, and which is your ability to have a checklist in order for you to actually abide by, in order for you to actually be guided by those things, in order for you to not be space-headed and actually worry about different things. I want us to do 4 administrative things right now. I want you to like, share, comment, and subscribe on this post, because it actually helps people focus on the things they can control, and it doesn't actually give them the ability in order for them to think so wide-minded, so you can actually think narrow-minded and actually have a narrow focus. This is EdikanMoses. This is the Nova Podcast. I want you to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.